Hey, my super beautiful, lovely souls. Today is for Divine Feminines. This is the dark mirror. So something that's darker about yourself that needs help or healing. I'm going to get right into it. I don't want to waste any time here. If you don't like this type of reading, I suggest you click off because there's going to be a little bit, I don't know, almost like tough love here, okay? So if that's not what you want, then go find another channel or another video. And I say that with love because I don't want to have anybody come here that's not interested in healing. All right. So let's get going here. And look, so the Divine Feminine might be struggling with obsession at this time. Okay. And if you look very closely at this picture, there's sort of like a crown of thorns on this person, and they're sort of looking like they're staring into sort of a black mirror. And we've got moons like cycles. So I feel like this really has to do with denial. Okay. And it's like, there's nothing else that I can replace my focus with. Okay. I feel like it's just holding on to like old sort of, ways or people or things. Okay. We can chase comments. We could chase mirrors. We could chase shadows. We could chase cars, myths. Obsession is really just a trick of our perception. I feel like we can be obsessed over a person, an idea, an object. If we're really looking at ourselves though, and we can really see that we're doing this, we can heal it, okay? Because I feel like sometimes we can numb out what is important. All right, obsession is like a drug. In small whips, it's great, and in big doses, it kills. So we don't want to drown in obsession. So let's see what the Divine Feminine's message here is. Stand alone. Spirit is wanting you to stand alone. So whatever it is, I feel like you're obsessing over whether it's your twin flame or a high-level soulmate connection, or maybe something with your job or something like that, or you're obsessing about the future. Spirit is like, this is not helping you. And I feel like this is your biggest fear. You're obsessed with not having to do this, not having to stand alone by yourself. I feel like your biggest fear, your biggest dread is to not have a partner or somebody that loves you or that's caring for you or giving you attention. Okay. So Spirit is like, look, you were born alone, you're going to die alone. And I don't mean that to be harsh, but let me just tell you something. Spirit is seeing in this particular way that the only way to fix this is to be alone. Experience being alone. Nobody wooing over you, nobody texting you, nobody giving you false hopes, nobody giving you little snippets of love. Spirit's like, you don't need any of that shit. Just be okay doing this. You are stronger than you think. I feel like there's so much stuff on your head about being alone. Like maybe there was some trauma over that, or there is some deep fear over that, or some kind of a wound that's never been healed over that. But Spirit's like, everybody needs to learn to do this at some point. Eventually you will be alone. Eventually you will. So Spirit's like, it doesn't mean you have to limit yourself in connections, but you have the people around you that love and care for you. And they know, like, basically Spirit's like, that you'll be fine. So I've got a Two of Wands here. I feel like this is you sort of thinking about future plans, what you're going to do, where you're going to go. I feel like sort of where you're going to live. I also feel like this is you sort of ruminating over a past partner. I feel like there's past hurts from you. It could be ex-boyfriend before this connection that hurt you and you're still not over it. I also feel like you have the world at your fingertips, but you want to share your life with somebody and you want to share your hopes and dreams with someone. This is very important to you. But Spirit's like, this is not for now. This is for after. This is for once you've done some healing and you've come to terms with some of these issues that you're so afraid to be alone. I feel like Spirit's like, it's perfectly fine to do that. I also feel like Spirit's like, the person that you're ruminating about, they're alone too, and they're not making really any effort. To me, this feels like lover returning. I want someone to return to me. I want someone to come back to me. They were my whole world is what I'm hearing. I also feel like this is you making plans for the future so you don't have to be alone. And I feel like this has to do with business, school, sort of enterprise, what you want to do for yourself to ensure that you'll have a stable future. But right now, Spirit's like, you feel like you don't have a leg to stand on. And it does have a lot to do with your twin connection or your soul connection, because you're relying on that to give you happiness and peace. And it cannot do that. It is not meant to do that. It is actually meant to stir you up and make you realize all the painful, ugly, horrible things you don't want to, that once you start to heal those things, you feel like $1,000,000 and you are in the world again. So let's say, I feel like also fast action. I feel like you might have fast thoughts about things. I feel like you might have a hard time quieting your mind. I also feel like you're in the process of doing things for yourself. Okay. I also feel like answers are coming to you. So if you're in an energy now where you're kind of wondering, or a lot of what ifs, answers are coming. Connection is coming. I feel like this has to do with work or school, or has to do with correspondence coming to you. Okay. Like a letter or an email that's of significant importance. Okay. Towards your future. I also feel like your twin may have reached out to you, or your soul connection person may have reached out to you. But I also feel like there was some sense of, I don't know, maybe like a discussion about consistency. All right, let's see what else we're getting. Yeah, I also feel like you're blind to the truth. You're having a really hard time accepting that this needs to sort of dissipate. You need to sort of do the self-focus. I also feel like you're like going like this. Should I leave them? I don't know. Should I do this? I don't know. Should I go back to school? I don't know. Should I do this with work? I don't know. I feel like you're torturing yourself. I feel like deep down you know the answer, but you're afraid to look at the answer. It's like flipping a coin and you're afraid to look at what the coin says. That's the energy of this card. I also feel like it's a floodgate of emotion behind all of this, and needing to sort of open up. This is like, I'm not letting anything in and I'm not letting anything out. Okay. There's bigger things going on with you than you want to admit. And I also feel like you know the truth about this person and you just don't want to see it. You know. Look, because I feel like you want commitment, you want marriage, or like a high level commitment or engagement, or somebody to be like, I'm yours, you're mine. There's no cheating. We see each other. But I also feel like it's too routine, or you want it to be too routine. And it could be more for you to be this way, like routines in your life that are so important to you. Not sharing that with another person. Like, you can be the way you are, but I'm also getting from spirit, some things about you at your core need to change. And I don't mean that to be harsh or rude or mean. I also see this as a student of life. I feel like throughout your life, you've had struggles and you don't know why. It's because spirit is constantly giving you lessons. Spirit is constantly presenting you with troubles and trials to give you lessons. I also feel like you are a solid person. You want to stay this way. But I feel like Spirit's like, don't be so routine that you feel like you're dead inside. That's what I'm getting. All right. Yeah. We've got an energy of like please don't, pardon my French and all, but I don't mean pardon my French, pardon my language. Okay. Sorry. Shit or get off the pot. Okay. With this person, I feel like you want commitment from them, but it's not just saying that. Like, commitment isn't like, I'm yours, you're mine, here's a ring, okay, la-di-da. Commitment goes beyond that. Commitment is calling somebody when you say you're going to. Commitment is giving somebody your attention. Commitment is sort of beyond just saying like, I do and you're mine and I'm yours. Okay. I feel like in that aspect of this particular connection, it's immature. Okay. It's like, it's a connection that didn't mature. Okay. So I feel like if you're in separation from your twin flame right now, that is why. Okay. You may have wanted like very traditional things from them and very right and good things from them, and they are not able to give that to you. They might not ever be able to give that to you, and I feel like you're waiting around for them to change. They're not gonna change. All right. I also feel like this is you getting a different perspective on shit. You have to really start to see the world differently, see yourself differently, see relationships differently, family differently. All right. I feel like this might be a spiritual awakening for you that you've been denying for quite some time out of fear. Okay. Or conformity, like religious conformity. All right. You might have somebody in your household or somebody around you that's like a religious fanatic and they won't accept this. Okay. But I feel like you've dulled yourself down enough. You do have spiritual gifts. You need to go into them. Stop pushing them away because they're going to help you down the line on your path. Okay. Yeah. And I got like a little bit of I'm scared. What if something bad happens? There's a lot of what if with you. Okay. I feel like you really torture yourself. There's torment for you. This is all shit from the past too. Like, you're like, so much shit has always gone wrong for me. Well, what about this might happen? And what about that might happen? I feel like Spirit's like, you know, you're in for a little bit of a battle with things. You know, you're in for challenges that are coming. But you know what? You've been through so much already. Yes, you have some scars. Yes, you have some wounds. But Spirit's like, you can do this. I feel like Spirit's like, you're making this bigger than it is. Like, you're stressing too much, okay? And I feel like that's because you don't have a lot of clarity for things, okay? I feel like it's very difficult for you to go through life with the unknowns, okay? But Spirit's like, this is what life is about. You know, we're not 15 years old anymore. We're not 25 anymore. I mean, you might be 25. I'm sort of thinking like this is for a little bit of an older person, 30s or you know, almost into their 40s, but it could resonate for anybody. That's what we're here for. Messages for healing and love. So Spirit's like, yeah, you have battle scars. You have had it tough, but don't use that as your crutch. See that? You're like, I've had to deal with all this shit. This person has drove me crazy. I waited. I did this. I did that. I gave everything to them. I wanted to plan with them. Spirit's like, stop using that as your crutch. It doesn't matter. So what if you wasted time? Time is more like a man-made thing, okay? We always have time to change. We always have time to do different things. So let's see some affirmations for you. Look, we've got 6 of Swords. I know that peaceful times will come. So yeah, so looking forward to the brighter side of things. You have to get your mind frame into a positive mind frame instead of a negative mind frame all the time. And these self-torturing energies. I feel like you're thinking about the past a lot too. Thinking, oh, it was so much easier back then, or I was different back then, or the relationship I had was better back then. But like, you know, things are meant to change, and either somebody's going to evolve with you or they're going to fall off. Twin flame or not, that's what's meant to happen, okay? But knowing that peace is coming, you also have to give yourself peace. Stop tormenting yourself. I calmly make the best decision possible. There you go. So you need to distinguish between this relationship and being by yourself. Going back to school or going back to a different job at work. I feel like there's things with money with you. I feel like there's things with not feeling your worth with that. So you're in an energy and you're in a challenge right now. Spirit's like, you have to decide. You can't just say, I'm going to let this person hang somewhere. And however it is, it is. Spirit's like, you're not meant to do that. You're meant to close doors to go into the future. And going back and forth, like this back and forth energy is driving you crazy. It's taking time away from you. It's taking intelligence away from you. It's taking rationality away from you and love away from you. All right, so let's see. Look, Queen of Swords, I protect what matters to me. So yeah, you're very defensive over this. I feel like you don't want to hear it if somebody's telling you, you know, you need to move on, or you need to make a change, or you need to go live by yourself, or you need to go back to school. I feel like you don't want to hear any of this. You protect what's good and bad about yourself, but you're protecting the bad shit too. It's like you want to just shovel it away and not look at it. And Spirit's like, no, this is all about addressing what's wrong, okay? And being Queen of Swords, like not being open to suggestions or advice from people, is getting you a little bit bitter. So we need to come out of this bitterness. I also feel like, you know, you would be a little nasty if somebody told you, you know this is not worth holding on to. Just let go. What are you afraid of? You literally have nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing. This is a powerful woman. Yes, sometimes this card comes up, and I know many of you know this. This is like the bitter, but the bitchy, I got this, I'll slay, I got this, okay? Know that that's who you are, but you also have to get rid of those old bitter feelings, the things that you hold resentment and anger in over. This person is not responsible for your happiness. You are responsible for your happiness, but I feel like you're very reliant on an outcome. You can't be reliant on an outcome. You have to worry about only outcome for you and what you're going to do, your next steps for your future. All right. So let's see some shadows, because this is all about the mirror. So what are some things that, you don't want to look at? Some things that are in vital need of being healed. Fear of failure. I'm afraid to be responsible. So yeah, taking responsibility. If you stayed in a mundane job, right, for years and you didn't like your career, it's better to do that than go try somewhere and fail, okay? That's an energy you're carrying from the past, all right? Being responsible means you take those chances. You do you. You only worry about you, not this connection, not anybody else, not your mother, not your father, not your sister, brother, your aunt, your uncle, nobody but you, okay? You have to take responsibility for you. Look, stubbornness. I don't like admitting my feelings. Yep, so that's that Queen of Swords energy that I was talking about. Not wanting to hear it. I don't want to hear that this person's no good for me. I don't want to hear I should leave them. I don't want to hear I should move on. I don't want to hear that I stayed at this shitty job for years. I don't want to hear it. You have to hear it. It's the only way you're going to get over it. It's the only way, if it's in your face, being directed to you from spirit and angels. Angels are giving you this gentle guidance. They want you to know that it's okay. It is safe to feel your feelings. It is safe to feel the way you feel. You don't have to fear, okay? You're not the only one that goes through this. So many people go through these feelings, and this is common. Wounds are common. There is not one person walking around on this planet that doesn't have soul wounds or core wounds, okay? And that's what we're trying to get to today. That spirit is working through me. Spirit wants to wake people up. I am here to wake you guys up. Wake you up to spirit, wake you up to the universe, the messages, the guidance, the spiritual journey, every bit of it. Programming, the bullshit on TV, the bullshit with just everything going on. It's like spirit wants me to wake you up here. So some of these things, yeah, they're painful. Yeah, and they're not going to happen overnight, but you can chip away at them. You can certainly start to worry more about yourself, love yourself, care for yourself, be proud of yourself. Don't put yourself through the mill. We've got uncertainty. I don't know what I want out of life yet. So you're just confused. You don't know what's going to make you happy. You might just be going from job to job. You might just be staying somewhere for a period of time, job-wise, and then leaving. You might be in relationships that you burn them out and you just don't know what to do without the relationship. I just feel like, you can't make politeness part of your forefront. You have to be honest with yourself and harsh a little bit sometimes, and it's okay to not know, but I feel like spirit's work towards what you love and what is your passion. You have to ask yourself, what's your passion? What do you love? Is it working with animals? Is it working energy worker? Is it fashion designer? Is it a writer? Is it a blogger? Is it a chef? What is it? Spirit's stop just going around aimless. What do you want? What do you really want? What do you really feel like you could be great at, okay? And it's okay if you're doing one job and you just started doing this and you don't know now. That's okay. Follow through. Spirit's follow through, but start figuring out what's really your core of happiness, what really makes you happy, what your passion would be. And we've got fear of intimacy, afraid to be open, and we've got I have issues with believing in myself. So spirit wants you to try to chip away at these things because they are so important for you to heal and will make you feel whole again, and you will attract better options to yourself, better people to yourself, better love to yourself, more fulfilling love to yourself. You'll attract better people. A lot of the time, all this shit is cluttering up our aura. So we're projecting. We don't even know it, okay? We could smile, but guess what we're projecting? Lack of confidence, fear of intimacy, uncertainty, stubbornness, fear of failure. If you guys think that doesn't show to another person, if you take a picture of yourself and you go on a dating website and people are looking at your picture and they're looking at you, they subconsciously are also looking at these things. And that could be why somebody reaches out to you in a certain way, or they don't, or you sit there and you wonder. So we really are projecting these things outward into the world. And it's hard for anybody to really sit and think that they're a failure. This is not a punishment video. This is meant to wake you up and let the light back in, okay? Stop being afraid. Stop burying these wounds with concrete and mud and muck and mire and barbed wire and all kinds of shit, and let them out. Spirit's like, let them out, start healing them. If you don't know how to heal, start meditating. Listen to guided meditations. Get self-help books. Go to therapy. There is no shame in that, okay? But we're in a time of great peril, okay? The world is crazy. There's 6 retrogrades. We're going to be in Mars energy for the rest of the year. These are times to wake up, shake up shit, get going on things, and leave the past behind. Everything is dying off right now. That's why a lot of people are angry and fearful. Look, we've got victim conscious. You are not a victim. Absolutely. Anything that's happened to you, you are not a victim. You have to remember that it's okay. You didn't do anything wrong to deserve any bad treatments or harsh treatments or anything like that. But Spirit's like, please don't be a victim. Please don't be a victim. Take your mask off. This is what this is all about. Taking off that mask. We hide behind a mask, and you know what builds behind the mask? We have lack of self-sufficiency, fear of failure, like all those wounds, guys, right? We have vanity, we have self-hatred, we have impatience. All these things build behind the mask. Anger. You're meant to be who you really are. No matter what that person or who that person is, you're meant to be that person. Okay? This can apply for like trans people as well. You're meant to be who you are, but hiding behind things and burying wounds, like I said, is not going to get you any closer to be who you are. They're just going to go, all those things are just going under that mask and building up and building up and building up. Taking off the mask releases the pressure. It's like a pressure cooker. You take the pot off and boom, and it's okay. At the end of the day, it's okay. All right, so let's see how your Divine Masculine's feeling while all this is going on with you, okay? Let's see how he's feeling. What is going on with the Divine Masculine while you're doing you and in a process of doing you? We've got unreceptive. So he might be in his own way, in his own anger. And if you truly are twins, then he may be experiencing some of the same things in this reading. You can certainly go back and watch the video again and see if it applies to your Divine Masculine or your soul connection masculine, okay? He is unreceptive. He's kind of like, you know, like a bystander, kind of like, you know. He's not really giving attention. He's not really putting anything into this. See what else we got here. We've got anger. So he's got some anger issues he might be working out or working through. Yeah, there could have been fights, arguments. Maybe the last time you spoke there was an argument. I feel like he takes out his anger on you, his frustrations out on you. I feel like he doesn't know where this anger comes from. You're not responsible. He can't blame you for it. The anger is deeper than he's projecting. Let's see, we've got a breakthrough. So he might be getting into an energy where he also starts to break away from these old pattern ways and starts to figure out about his anger. Let's see what else we've got. Hold on one second. All right. Oops, oops, oops. Don't want to drop any. Don't want to drop any. Oh my goodness. Please, please, please. We've got repressed. So he's feeling repressed. He might have things he wants to say to you, and he's repressing them out of fear that you will meet him with Queen of Swords energy, like bitter or bitchy energy. He's holding in things because he doesn't know how you're going to take them. He doesn't know what you're going to say or feel. He also doesn't know how to talk. He doesn't know how to express himself. Look at the picture. He's literally trying to figure out how to say what he wants to say to you, and he can't do it. It's like it escapes his head or his memory. I feel like he has issues with his memory as well. I feel like, you know, he's sort of harboring feelings, like kind of like, you know, a little bit resentful feelings. But he doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to express himself. He doesn't know how to get this shit out, is what I'm feeling here. And at the end of the day, I feel like he's not connecting with you the way that he should be, or the way that, you know, you want him to connect with you. And if you're in separation, these are the things that he's sort of, you know, feeling right now. Let's get one more. Let's get one more and see. All right, hold on. These cards keep sticking together. I don't know why it's kind of like sticky where I'm at. Ooh, we've got self-destructive. Yeah. If you are in separation or nearing separation, or you're on again, off again, part of the main reason is because he has self-destructive energy. Okay. He's literally, it doesn't even matter if he's doing bad things like drugs or alcohol, drinking pills, anything like that. It could be that him doing nothing in his life is self-destructive. It's like destroying him. Okay. And on the other side of that, it could be that you continuing your connection with him, or an on again, off again connection, is self-destructive on your part too. But it's not helping him, because I feel like he really needs to address his issues, and he needs to kind of do it alone. All right, so let's get one more card, and we'll sort of tie this up, and we'll see an affirmation here, okay? Let's get an affirmation. Look at, oh my gosh, we had the Hanged Man before. I can see this situation another way. Wow. See that? This is really telling you, like, you need to see this person in a different light, or maybe you have seen them in a different light now. I also feel like you need to see yourself in a different light. And this is very much, excuse my language, but it's a shit or get off the pot. It really is. We have it twice in this reading. Okay. There's very much like a stagnation here. Kind of like waiting to die, it feels like. I mean, I don't mean to be so harsh, but that's what it feels like to me. It's like an energy where you just have given up. You're just hanging in the balance. You're hanging in life. You know, you don't know if you can go forward. You don't know what's real. You are really trying to see things differently, and you're really trying to get sort of like a foot up in the world, and things are just, I feel like, on your head and, you know, kind of holding you back. So I feel like this is really also about, like I said, spiritual awakening. And you have to decide going forward if you're going to be a completely different person, or you're going to stay the old you. Spirit's like, you're meant to crack this shell and come out different. It's like a butterfly and a caterpillar, okay? The butterfly and the caterpillar goes into the chrysalis and becomes a butterfly. So Spirit's like, are you going to stay in this dark, dank chrysalis, or are you going to come out the butterfly? I hope that this was helpful, guys. Hope you didn't think it was too harsh, but sometimes, guys, Spirit does direct me to give sort of like the tougher advice and the tough love, and like almost like the motherly. I really wish you all well. I wish you nothing but the best. Please like and subscribe and share if you think that this is helpful and can help someone else. Love and light to you all. See you on the next reading.